Okay, I've got a representative from the O'Hara Law Firm on this meeting, I do believe. All right. Mr. Zoliter. Your client here is who?
Gerardo Calvert. Gerardo, can you turn your video on, please?
Could I get a Spanish interpreter?
What will the announcement be in Gerardo Alberto Calvet's case? 2020 CR 285.
The defense is requesting a continuance.
All right. I'll take the request for interpreters under advisement. Is Spanish your native language, Mr. Cardenas?
Yes, sir. It's my first language.
There's a whole series of notes regarding the interpreter issue before the court. You appeared before Judge Hart at your first appearance, and you didn't have any trouble speaking and understanding the English language. You were present with your mother, who did not speak English, and that you were translating to her.
That's correct. English is still not my strongest language.
Per Judge Hart, the defendant should not require an interpreter for any future hearings, as he was able to communicate and understand the English language, and it appeared that it was the mother that required an interpreter. Is that what we're dealing with here?
Judge, if I may, I have not had a chance to talk to Mr. Calvert. May I speak with him before we move forward on this? I'll talk to him about it. If that's what the issue is, we can certainly figure something out for him.
And I will not appoint an interpreter for your mother. She's not the defendant. So with that said, a breakout session is authorized between counsel and client. Mandy, would you go ahead and just set that up this time, and then I'll move on with another case while you're conferring.
Thank you.
We'll try to get right back to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor.
Yes? Oh,
I also had a bond for him that he was supposed to come in and sign before this date today, and that has not been done as well. So just for information.
thank you. I appreciate that information. We'll deal with that present. Gerardo Alberto Calvet. Case number 2023 CR 285 is back before the court. Mr. Sweeney, Mr. Zoliter, Mr. Calvet appearing as before. Counsel, what after this conference do you announce to the court?
Your Honor, in speaking with my client, we are, just so the court knows, I've not been on this case even 30 days. I'm requesting a continuance of this setting. For purposes of this continuance, my client's not asking for an interpreter so we can proceed. I've talked to him that I will discuss with him about an interpreter when it's needed, when it's appropriate, et cetera. And then, in the meantime, if we think we need one, we can either set that up or we'll revisit the issue. But for right now, he's not requesting an interpreter for this hearing because we're just requesting continuance and nothing, obviously it's not a trial or a motion or anything like that today. We're just requesting continuance and he understands that.
What's the underlying reason for the continuance, Mr. Zoliter?
So that Mr. Sweeney and I have time to try and resolve this case.
So there's at least some reasonable prospect that next time we're in court, a disposition may be announced?
I think so, Your Honor. I've
All right.
talked to Mr. Sweeney about this case. I know he's really busy. And from my understanding, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think in our discussions, we thought there was an opportunity to work this out. We just haven't been able to do it so far. And
All
like
right, I'm going to trust that. I'll take out a face value, counsel. I'll go ahead and grant this continuance with the idea that I'm going to at least tentatively set this case for a dispositional hearing. How much time do I need to allow before we come back, Mr. Zoliter? Can we do this in a month?
Your Honor, I would defer to Mr. Sweeney. I know he's really busy and I need an offer from him and his schedule may not allow him to look at it that fast, so.
Mr. Sweeney?
Your Honor, I think I could give an offer in a month. That's reasonable.
Okay, an offer and a response, and
Sure.
I'll have to go out a little bit further than a month. Regrettably. Council, if I were to set this Monday, November the 6th at 1:15 in the afternoon.
That would work with my schedule, Your Honor.
And it would work with the state schedule as well, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will set the further proceeding in this case for Monday, November the 6th, 1:15 PM. It's contemplated by the court that that'll be conducted by Zoom, similar as today. I will list it as possible dispositional hearing. Further scheduling will be done in the case as deemed appropriate at that time. Monday, November 6th, 1:15 PM. Defendant must fully appear by audio and visual means at that time. Mr. Zollinger, I need you to inform the court by no later than 2 weeks prior to that date if an interpreter is going to be requested and the reason for it. Email communication would be fine, but just obviously you'll include Mr. Sweeney on any and all communications with the court.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll ask prosecutor at this time, anything further we need to address here?
No, Your Honor.
Defense counsel, is there anything further we need to address?
No, Your Honor.
And I trust, Gerardo, you've been able to hear everything today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then we'll see you by Zoom, 1:15 on Monday, November the 6th. That matter is currently in recess at this time. We'll move on to other matters.
Your Honor.
Yes?
There was the matter of the bond.
Oh,
that
yes.
Still needed signed.
Yes. Mr. Zollinger, where is your client located at?
Houston, Texas.
Okay. Was he instructed by a judge earlier to come in and sign his bond and get processed on this?
Your Honor, when I spoke with him, he said that the judge, and I wasn't at that hearing, that he still needed to be booked and fingerprinted. And I think, I apologize, I should have brought that up in the email. That's what I was asking for guidance. If that was something that needed to be done at a certain time, or if that's just something that needs to be done. Our hope was to get this case worked out, have him travel here. I'll have him here on November 6th and get it pled if that's what we do and booked all at the same time. If that's not acceptable, Judge.
That is.
You give me a
That
deadline.
is.
I'll make sure. Okay, thank you.
I will consent to that procedure, but that's going to change things for Gerardo in this case. You're going to have to come to El Dorado, Kansas and participate at your next hearing from what we call the Sally Port. You'll have contact with the representatives of the sheriff's office, and then you can do your booking and processing as part of that appearance. So you have to be here in Kansas next time. Gerardo, do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm
Judge,
sure your
may-
counsel will go over with you in no uncertain terms that you have to make the trip, be here in person in El Dorado, Kansas. And again, would you want him just to report in to the Sally Port then? Yes, he's indicating yes. So that's where you go. It's on the south end of the building. Have you ever appeared there before?
No, I have no clue where that is.
Find the Butler County Judicial Center in El Dorado, Kansas. Go to the south end of the building. There's kind of a garage there. We call it the Sally Port location, and then the officers will give you direction from there, okay?
Okay.
Your
I'm not
Honor, I
going
know
to
your-
consent to you participating in any other fashion.
Your Honor, I know your time's valuable. May I inquire, can I go there with him? If we do a plea, my
Yes.
preference would be for me to be right next to him. That way we don't have any problems.
Absolutely, counsel. In fact, I encourage it.
I'll meet him there. Oh, thank you, Your
Very
Honor.
well. Okay, make sure you come a little early so you can get checked in, Gerardo, okay?
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
talk to you, Gerardo, about everything that's going
And
on.
I do appreciate that being brought to the attention of the court so that that could be addressed as part of this record. I don't think there's anything further we need to address. So that matter, once again, is in recess.